Hello everyone, I am back. And now you can see that I did manage to get the Bugatti body and the chassis into the shop. All right, and I put it on the Harbor Freight $18 four-wheel dollies. Would have liked to have gotten them on sale, but I needed them when I needed them. So I had this on 4 of them, and it worked just fine. So I was able to roll all this in myself. When I put the body on the chassis, I found out that there are some issues. Let's see. So the kick-up in the back of the chassis does not match the kick-up in the back of the car. And you can see that ideally there should not be a gap here. That should be sitting on top of there. So it's hitting there in the back and it's hitting here in the front. You can't really see it, and I tried earlier to make a video to where you could see it. Oh, there you are, you can see it over there. So it hits up in that corner and it shouldn't do that. I don't know why that gap is there. Here, that's about 6 inches or so. So anyway, I've just got to look at it and see what would happen. I suspect if we cut, I don't know, about a foot maybe out of the middle of this frame and shortened it, it would work, but I need to find out why. Our best guess, this is our best guess, why is it so far off? And in order to do all of that, oh, and the angle is different. This rise here is different. You can see here's the angle of the body. You can't see the back of it, but there's the angle of the body, and then there's the angle of the chassis. Again, they don't match. So I've got to go through all of the models that I was provided that were supposed to be right for this, and they're obviously not. Let's see. Then we have the issue of the Corvette suspension adapter. If you look at this suspension adapter with the ruler scale, it is a little over 2 feet long. Unfortunately, the space that it's supposed to fit in under here is only less than 20 inches, 19.5 inches. So this angled piece right here is supposed to fit on here, and you can see that it wouldn't. It would go here, and so either it would have to be notched here, which is a severe notch, or notch there, which structurally that would be better because there's nothing really on the front end there, but that's pretty significant. Here, let me see. Let's see how much of a notch that would have to be. This was 25 inches. If I measured up 25 inches from there, yeah, that's all the way up to the front of here. So that wouldn't work. So I'd have to do it out of the middle. Again, that's really probably not acceptable. So then I need to figure out what do I need to do to make this work. So there's another issue. So our best guess at designing the frame is off. Okay. So I had this on the dollies. I just got through jacking it up and taking the dollies out from under it and putting jack stands under this. The reason why is because the 5-axis mill needs to go up in that front corner. It is 6 feet by 12 feet, which is a space hog. And I measured, and 6 feet's about where the edge of that box is, and 12 feet is past that shelf. So I've got to clear out that area. Don't really have a place to put that stuff because, as you can see, things are back to being a bit of a mess just because I'm trying to fit too much in too small of a space. But if I were to able to assemble stuff, that would help, because this front suspension would be going underneath that Bugatti body. The rear suspension would go under the Bugatti body, and it would all be attached, and the thing would roll around and drive like a car. But because of the design issues, that's not going to happen. The GT40, again, some issues with the body fitting on the frame. The frame's gone now. It's off to have an interior made. It had to be disassembled to have the interior made. If I'd known that, I would not have agreed to that, but too late now. I don't want to put the thing back together. It has all of these parts and spacers to make it all line up. And the A-arms got changed for shorter A-arms. And I'm missing a bunch of pieces. So what I need to do with this is there's the framework that was on top of the frame that allowed the body to have something to sit on. So what I need to do is assemble the body all together here on the floor, take measurements and all of that, and then figure out what to do to make the chassis fit. Here's all the parts for the Delahaye. Not all of them, this is just the fenders. The rest of the parts are in the back of my truck. So what I need to do with the chassis here is I need to figure out where the center line of the front wheel is. And that can only be determined with the fenders on it. It's somewhere in this area right here. We just don't know exactly where. So once I put the fenders on there, then we can figure that out. Unfortunately, I can't determine just by setting the fenders up. I tried that, and there's really nothing to locate it off of. So I'm going to have to get I'm basically going to have to assemble the whole car roughly just to figure out where and how those fenders mount. All right, let's see, what else do I have? All right, the big things. Only because it's literally big. Okay, so to make room for everything, oh, and there's the front for the Grand Sport, Corvette Grand Sport that is going to have to come in here. Okay, so there is the Vader. I had to move it out. And of course, unfortunately it rained, but I can't control the weather. It is cold. It went from hot to cold in like a week. So, things got wet, but they'll dry out. Let's see what else. Oh, and then this is the 5-axis mill right here. And you can see this thing is big. 6 foot by 12 foot, so it's going to take up a lot of real estate. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get those wheel dollies, put them underneath the 4 corners in the middle, and then I am going to attempt to put this thing, roll this thing into the shop. I'm not challenged, I don't think, to do the big part. I'm just not sure about these extrusions and how heavy they are. You can see obviously this thing got damaged being moved. They cut wires. Why they cut wires, I have no earthly idea, but the sellers agreed to get everything fixed and working. So we'll see. Anyway, and now it's sprinkling, misting on me. All right, so I've got my work cut out for me. Luckily, the shop's nice and warm. It's just cold out here. So it's a good thing I'm not doing the shade tree thing anymore, because I sure would be working out in this cold, misty, miserable weather. All right, so I think that's all I've got to update you on. So go back to what I was doing, which is getting the dollies out from underneath the Bugatti body, and then putting them under that piece, and then seeing if I can move it and roll it on my own. And I won't know that till I try. All right, so like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks if you want to donate, and if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. Bye.